happens is, once you got that, then you would tighten it down, and then you check it again if you can, right? Because as you tighten, something could shift, right? So now, if you didn't get it between 2 and 5 thousandths, or there was sawdust in here before you went down, this tip would be out, and let's say it was 20 thousandths out, okay? What that means is, with centrifugal force, the outside cutting speed is greater than the inside cutting speed. So this knife would be going way faster, and you could hear it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then what could happen is, because it's going so much faster, it could slip out. Okay? And the record I found was it went through, let's say we're at that sander, it went through that door, it went 30 feet across the alley, 150 feet across the street and into the lawn. So 20 guys went to find it, couldn't find it. Well, one of my relatives, one, was with the lawnmower, and right? So he took the knife out, and he gave it to the owner, and the owner went running back to the shop. Here it is, here it is. Where's my $100, right? And so that's how far it went. So when I was a punk, we used to have a 4x12 and 2 clamps, and then he would turn it on and wait. So now what happened was the metal cutting technology changed. So OSHA created OSHA cutters, which means I had a comb, right? And the comb was in this, the comb was in the knife, and you tighten them down and we're all safe. But guess what? I can't make custom knives anymore. Your door would have a tick, and yours would have, right? And so you would grind your own knife, just like you guys are grinding your steel, to a different shape, and there were an infinite amount of cutters. Shapes, cope and stick. But now, because of the OSHA cutter, human can't do that. They would have to set this up and then spin this backwards and grind it dead on the money. Okay? So now we enter CNC, and CNC now makes these cutters. So nothing more than a router bit, but this is cutter head. So now the human element's gone. I got to order this, it's done, but I set it on like your saw blade and it's ready to run. Okay, so that's a way better thing, but I lost my custom. And now there's about 5 shapes that the whole wide world uses when there used to be 50 shapes. Okay, beyond that, you have what's called a rack tail cutter, because a rack tail is the closest thing you get to a finger, and not use your finger. And the reason, and even router bits, anti-kickback cutter, if I was to turn this on and my finger was here, this would only cut me a 16th to take off some layers of skin and pray that it doesn't get a bone, right? This one is not as safe, but it's still safe. I don't think you can go in there. But if you see this one isn't a finger, this one's gonna pull you in and get a hand, okay? So that's why this used to be so unsafe, right? But with the advent of this, it's now a pretty tame tool. We don't use them because that stops at 12,000 RPM and the router is 22,000 RPM. Now the monsters under the router table we can bring down to 13,000 RPM because you might do a big bit and you're going to do a raised panel or a cope and stick or something like that. But this is what the shape is. So what I just did was I made the tree, forgot it was wood. And we are making a front door. And so I went laying down the fibers, laying down the grain, and right here's yuck, and right here's tear out and explosions, right? So what I did was we got the pattern, and of course the CNC was going to cut all the white oak. Cool. Well then the CNC said, no, we can't do that. We can only do a pattern, at which point I've got a pattern now. So how do I take a pattern and get this down to this? It's called double stick tape. And if anyone uses double stick tape only on a router table, in my class, it's not going to happen. The problem is now there's other teachers that don't follow this rule and they do it. Not on my watch. And the program was in unison at one time, and now it's hard to manage. Okay, but there's no way would I double stick tape this, and I don't want to put screws in this, right? So these toggle clamps are biting me and keeping me down, right? And then before I decided to put myself over here, I got my mallet and I hit it, and it shifted. And this one didn't shift as much. So I adjusted this, and it shifted less. Well, what if I put this board behind this? Now it's not going to shift. Now, the problem is with this rainbow thing, I'm not going to be able to put something behind it. So, close your ears. We're going to put a couple nails in, right, to make sure it doesn't shift, okay? And putty and paint makes the carpenter really good. So I just wanted you to see how this thing works. I mean, I don't know, if they weren't bugging me, it'd probably been an hour getting this whole jig ready to go. But if you tear out one of these, what are we gonna do now? Okay.
You put the negative of this template and use this your backer.
What do you mean by back? So what I'll do now is I'll take this
Because
exact
you don't
jig.
have anything to hold it, so if you would have this side, then you could hold it like this because this would go into here.
Oh, I guess I could.
The couple.
But so what I did was, if you see, this is my pattern, right? Here's my pattern, and it stops here. So I put the pattern up on this platen now, and the only reason that platen there is so that I can use the Staco. That's an acronym for stay put. That's a company, but they're toggle clamps, right? That I can do that, and these come off just like that. And now this thing is free to come off, and it's ready to go. Now I still don't like this corner because it's going to break off. I promise. Okay. What that is, go get your scraper. Go get your.
Can you go halfway in, flip the board, and go halfway in again?
Registration.
Just did that to be.
Registration. But yes, you could.
Your fixture is giving you registration. No?
Well, yeah, but that, and again, that was done with CNC, which is supposed to be right. I'm gonna trust it. Okay. So if you want to see what we're doing, it's this door over here. And so you're not going to make one without the full-size drawing. And here's the full-size drawing. Okay? So what's happening is you've got the stiles. I just cut this one, the top rail with the rainbow. And then we got to do that belly rail with rainbow on both sides, and the bottom's on its own. So the tough part is going to be to get, you see 3 pieces of glass, and there's going to be 4, whatever you want to call them, stiles, mullions, muntins, I don't care what you call them. But the real tough thing is going to be to get the tail of this board to match dead on the money. That's why we did CNC. And you see, I'm going edge grain right now. I'm going to be going end grain. Okay, that we're going to pray a lot the night before, the morning before we get in here, because it's the end grain. So what we've got is we've got a pattern for registration. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a board, a piece of pine, same thickness, a board, a piece of pine, the same thickness, boom, boom, right? And take this whole pig over to the shaper, just like I did, and get it all. So now I'll be able to get every one of the tails done, and I'll have a backer board so it doesn't tear out, and one here as well. Because tear out we can't have, because this all has to come together, okay? If that's making sense. So
You're going to do it today?
we hired the CNC, real tough thing to get, but these should fit, and they do dead on the money. So I only need one. How many do I have?
7.
I got 2. Just because. We'll see what happens. So we'll clamp all this. So this fixture will be similar to what you see over there. Okay, and we'll have more Stacos going on with the Fortners. Okay, so door making 101. If you see this, there's 3 pieces of wood. I couldn't pay anyone to flatten and parallel this style as quickly as I can make 3 pieces parallel, easy, plainer, and it gets to do some of this. And then we put those I-beams, we put these in between the I-beams and clamp, and those I-beams are dead on flat. Okay? And then we clamp together, and now you get this engineered wood. It's not plywood, but that's what it is. It's straight as an arrow. And when we're in Palm Springs, it's 120 degrees and 70 degrees. So one piece of wood doesn't know what to do. Two pieces of wood, you got a better chance. Okay? So that's how that works. All right?
What's his doorway in at?
Who cares? I'm not hanging it. That's his problem. And he's smart. He's gonna pay someone to hang it. And what is that? A $1,500 a day
My kids have been.
to hang it? What did it cost to hang last?
I don't know. The kids have always done it, so I don't.
It's probably $1,500 to hang
Yeah.
because it's all this. You know, it's the hinges and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to it. That's why they're all in a jam already today, these days, because they're done at a factory, and you just put the whole thing in there and shim it around and screw it up. All right, thank you.